As the A purser on the flight, sometimes I don't just settle disputes with passengers. I sometimes have to settle disputes amongst the crew. Sometimes it's two regular crew members, and sometimes it could even be with the B. The B purser coordinates the service back there. I'm the A purser, and I make sure that the whole flight runs smoothly. There was a younger girl. I think she'd only been flying maybe 1 to 2 years. We don't even have passengers on board yet. And she comes up to me and she says, "Listen, Gina, I'm having problems with the B in the back." And she's yelling at me and she's getting snippy with me. I told her I needed to make a phone call. I'm going through some things. And I told her I would help her. And the B was like, "Just get off the phone and then you can help me better." She was trying to multitask and it wasn't working. And she says, "Well, I know my rights. I know I could be on the phone before passengers get on. I had to make a phone call." And she said, "I don't need to take this. I'm having all kinds of problems. If she keeps it up, I'm just gonna walk off this flight." What could be so bad that you would walk off the plane? She took it to a 10, straight from 0 to 10. Let me go talk to the B and see if I can straighten things out. She said, "Well, I'm not going to be able to do this flight if she's going to jump all over me." So I go to the back and I said, "Hey, I hear you having a problem with one of the girls already." She says, "Yeah, she's on her phone. She's making phone calls. She's not helping me. I'm here working." I think what we have here is a lack of communication. We can make it work. She says, "Well, how are you going to make it work? You're going to take her up front with you?" Now, I'm not doing that. We all bid for our positions. We signed up for our positions by seniority. So she is where she is probably because it was the last thing that was open. And I'm not going to punish somebody by putting her up front so that the B can be happy. I said, "No, we're not going to do that." She goes, "I've been flying 45 years and I know how to do my job and I know." And I said, "Absolutely. And that's why I'm coming to you. Because I think what we have here is a miscommunication. I think she didn't explain it right. She did not convey the message to you properly, and that's why you're upset. She's having some personal problems. And she needed to make a couple of phone calls before we departed, before we started boarding the flight. She didn't tell you that. She didn't tell you she was going through something very stressful. And had she said, "Hey, I'll help you in just a moment, but I have to make a phone call real quick," and she just sat in the corner quietly, or maybe went in the bathroom to have privacy, to have the door closed, you would probably be fine with it. Am I right? She goes, "Well, yeah, that's what she should have done, but she didn't do that." I said, "Exactly. But here's the thing. You've been flying 45 years. You've been flying longer than me. You've been through a lot. You've been through plenty ups and downs and all kinds of experiences. I appreciate everything that you've gone through to get to the level of maturity that you're at right now because it takes time." I said, "But you are also in a position of authority. So we have to work together with everybody in a professional manner. We don't have to be friends or go out to dinner, but we all have to work with each other, whether we care for them or not. And you have that ability because you've been here the longest." She was angry at you for reacting to her incorrectly, but that was her fault for not explaining to you what was happening. We still have to work together. We have to coordinate. You have to coordinate the service, and she has to be able to come to you if something's wrong. I said, we, as the mature flight attendants, have to lead by example. You're leading them back here. You can't throw your hands up and match her energy and send her off. She's not getting off the plane, and I'm not taking her up in the front. So I had both of them. I said, "Listen, what you both had was miscommunication. You've gotten the parts of the puzzle. You see why one overreacted mistakenly, the other one overreacted, and now it's all good. We're fine. There's not even a problem here." Because at the end of the day, either one of you might be the one who has to rescue the other. Somebody may have to pull you out of your jump seat because you're incapacitated and you couldn't escape the plane without them. You're going to let something like, "Let me make a phone call," leave her in her seat? I mean, look at the grand scheme. Young girl, she built it to a 5-alarm fire. And the senior mama, she didn't want to hear any part of it. We left, we took off, we did the service, everything was copacetic. By the time we got to Senegal, we were in the lobby waiting for our rooms. We were all sitting around hee-hee and ha-ha with each other. I'm watching them two stuff like nothing ever happened. I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. Just a little patience, a little grace, a little understanding. If we can't get along with each other, who can we get along with?